With PowerPlus, style comes first, says Ben Lindemann, Indian's product director. Just like any cruiser, bagger, or touring bike, it has to look great or it won't go any further than that. With the 2025 PowerPlus bagger and touring lineup, Indian didn't just nail the style, it pushed it even further. Beyond aesthetics, Indian is making big moves under the hood. For the first time, the PowerPlus engine gets an upgrade, introducing a 112Ci variant alongside the existing PowerPlus 108. The lineup is also expanding with two new models, the Chieftain PowerPlus Bagger and the Roadmaster PowerPlus Tourer. Both feature fork-mounted fairings, complementing the existing frame-mounted fairing models, the Challenger and the Pursuit. Additionally, the PowerPlus 112 models come equipped with a new rider assist package, adding another layer of safety and convenience for riders. To test how far Indian could take performance and technology in the name of style, I spent a day riding the Chieftain PowerPlus 112 and Roadmaster PowerPlus 112 through the Nevada desert. And while style comes first, it quickly fades from thought once you're in motion. As the motorcycle leans toward its 31-degree limit and 133 pound-ft of torque claimed responds to the throttle, style is the last thing on your mind. When carving through a desert sweeper on an 844-pound machine, you're focused on the ride, just as Indian intended. But why the debate over fork versus frame-mounted fairings? For one, Harley-Davidson makes a big deal of it. The easiest way to define Indian's PowerPlus bagger lineup is by drawing parallels. The Challenger is Indian's road glide equivalent, while the Chieftain PowerPlus mirrors the street glide. Harley-Davidson's Shark Nose and Batwing fairings may be the most recognizable frame-mounted and fork-mounted designs, respectively, but Indian product design director Ola Stenegard is quick to remind us that the look of American touring motorcycles wasn't solely Harley's creation. Harley didn't invent the fork-mounted fairing, Stenegard points out. The aftermarket did. The Batwing fairing came from custom builders. A prime example is Dean and Stan Wixom's Fairwind 300 fairing, which not only pioneered the use of vacuum-molded ABS in fairing production, but also bore a striking resemblance to the design that debuted on the 1969 Electra Glide, a similarity that's no coincidence. Comparisons to Harley-Davidson are inevitable, but given tradition and market demand, the development of fork-mounted fairing models for Indian felt just as inevitable. There are two camps, Stenegard explains. You either prefer chassis-mounted fairings or fork-mounted fairings. If you're into the classic side, you want the fork-mounted. If you're more progressive, you want the chassis-mounted. And many of our customers wouldn't compromise. They wouldn't say, "Oh, you don't have a fork-mounted model? I'll just take the chassis-mounted." No, we had to have a fork-mounted model. For Indian's design team, the process started with an intriguing question. What if the brand had never stopped making touring motorcycles? Almost like sketching out the bikes that never existed, Stenegard says. That exercise led to a motorcycle that speaks the language of classic American touring while seamlessly integrating modern technology. The fork-mounted fairing alone incorporates innovations the Wixom brothers could never have imagined. A touchscreen TFT display with Apple CarPlay, a premium audio system, and an electrically adjustable windshield controlled at the push of a button on the right grip. On the road, the Chieftain PowerPlus fairing provides ample wind protection at chest level. But like most motorcycles with upright seating positions and upright windscreens, turbulent airflow around the screen can cause buffeting and excessive noise, especially when the screen is in a lower position. When the windscreen is fully elevated, it reveals a cutout at the bottom, which works with the knock-a-ducts at the upper edge of the fairing to help airflow infiltrate the low-pressure zone in the cockpit. Either position represents a bit of a compromise. Even when the screen is fully elevated and air flows above the rider's helmet for a calmer ride, buffeting is manifested in shorter but still annoying wavelengths. The experience is totally acceptable and expected given, fluid dynamics. Most riders, myself included, will be comfortable sitting behind the cockpit for long stretches. For everyone else, there's the Roadmaster PowerPlus, which comes standard with a larger touring screen that provides loads of wind protection and far less buffeting. By the end of our test ride, the The sun had already begun to set, demanding that I flip up my helmet's dark shield to see clearly. Open-faced behind a tall screen, there was little enough wind that my contact lenses barely dried out. After a full day in the saddle, I could have kept on racking up the miles. The feet-forward riding position may feel foreign to those of us weaned on sport bikes, but has some real merits. One of which is the ability to stretch your legs by moving your feet back and forth across the length of the floorboards. In terms of endurance riding, it's a boon. The seat, too, is a comfortable place to be perched, striking the right balance between being soft and supportive, and it has nice lower back support. Unfortunately, it locks the rider in position, preventing a degree of mobility. Every motorcycle is defined by its haves and have-nots. The strategic compromise is decided by product managers, engineers, and designers. The collaborative team Stenegard calls the three-legged stool. In the V-twin touring category, the haves, the fundamentals have always been style, comfort, and V-twin, where the latter is a value, maybe the chief value, as much as it is a mere engine configuration. As such, style and comfort are themselves a reflection of the engine's character.